Warning. This is not your safe space. Move along, now.
Well, Diane, this is the first homicide of the new year.
Victims, 2 women and 2 children, were found in the basement of a home the day after Christmas.
Today, the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department announced they were charging this man, 34-year-old Elon Daniel Seagraves, with human trafficking and pimping of a minor.
A local subway clerk gunned down inside the store where he worked.
Caller heard 2 shots in the area.
While we made significant progress this year, we certainly aren't celebrating.
Family members say it feels like their family has been ripped to shreds.
She called 911 and said she was a victim of sexual assault and trafficking.
Lays his head down to go to bed, and he hears what he thinks are 2 gunshots.
I'm just so devastated.
Bond has been set for the 2 men arrested in connection to a home invasion that turned into an officer-involved shooting in Lexington County.
I'm just so devastated. Devastated.
Damn!
Now YouTube censored.
I'm mad as hell right now. Yes, I am.
Viewer discretion is advised. Mama Black.
This program contains language and sequences some viewers may find disturbing.
New information in the arrests of 2 suspects in that savage murder of 4 people. Police have released the suspects' names. They are James White and Justin Mann. They have been charged with 4 counts of first and second degree murder. Our affiliate WRGB reports the men have pleaded not guilty. The victims, 2 women and 2 children, were found in the basement of a home the day after Christmas. This was all happening in the small town of Troy near Albany, New York. The children, 11 years old and 5, were found alongside their mother and a woman believed to be in a relationship with her. Family members say it feels like their family has been ripped to shreds.
It's just so sad. I'm just so devastated. Our hearts are broken. Our families are broken.
The suspects were arraigned this morning. They have another hearing set for next week.
I'm Frances Wang. Today, the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department announced they were charging this man, 34-year-old Elon Daniel Seagraves, with human trafficking and pimping of a minor. Here's what we know. On Christmas morning, a 17-year-old teen was hiding in a backyard in South Sacramento. She called 911 and said she was a victim of sexual assault and trafficking. She also let authorities know that her abuser was nearby waiting in a car. Sheriff's deputies arrived and they found Seagraves in a car with another 17-year-old teen. Authorities say Seagraves was previously working as a soccer coach at Kennedy High School and in other local youth leagues. He also worked as an Uber and Lyft driver. This had many of you concerned on social media. Many of you wondering how he was able to pass background checks for his jobs. Many of you also voiced concern about how his jobs gave him accessibility to girls. Now, I talked to the Sheriff's Department and they say his employment history was shared with the public in an effort to identify other potential victims. The 2 girls in this case were not victims he trafficked from his places of employment.
A local subway clerk gunned down inside the store where he worked. Take a close look at this video from the Willowick Police Department, which they posted on their Facebook page. This happened on Lakeshore Boulevard just after 4:30 this afternoon. You can see the suspect point the gun at the worker, then eventually he hits him in the head with his gun. Police describe him wearing black pants, a gray hoodie, blue shoes, and pink or red gloves. If you know anything, please call Willowick Police.
Bond has been set for the 2 men arrested in connection to a home invasion that turned into an officer-involved shooting in Lexington County. Quintrell Morris and Brandon Thompson were arrested yesterday and facing several charges. A judge set bond for Morris at $240,000. Some of his charges include 3 counts of kidnapping and assault and battery. Thompson's bond was set at $232,000. He's also facing 3 counts of kidnapping and assault and battery. Deputies say the 2 men broke into a home in the 300 block of Mapleview Drive off St. Andrews Road early Saturday morning. 3 children and an adult were inside. During a security sweep of the home after the invasion, an officer fired multiple shots at the suspects. Fortunately, no one was shot.
One call turns into a massive bust in Cartersville. More than 70 people are behind bars tonight. Police targeted a huge house party, and each person is charged with possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana. 11 Alive's Ryan Kruger shows us how it all unfolded.
This story starts at 2 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Eve. A nearby neighbor thinks they hear a couple of gunshots, so they call 911. Just a few minutes later, Cartersville police arrest more than 70 people.
Caller heard 2 shots in the area.
The 911 call actually came from these apartments. It's about a block or 2 away from where the party was being held. A man who lives here told me he got home from a late movie a little after 2 o'clock in the morning, lays his head down to go to bed, and he hears what he thinks are 2 gunshots. Now, people at the party say it were fireworks. Regardless, the man hears that noise. He calls 911. Cartersville police drive around the area. They don't find much, but once they get about a block away, that's when they find out where all of the noise was coming from. It was a house party here. In fact, when police arrived, they commented how many people were at the house.
I got 3 males walking. A whole bunch more on the porch. I'm around back. There's quite a few people inside the house. We're in the living room trying to get everybody out of the house.
One of the people at the party actually gave us this invitation. It says that it was a 21st birthday party billed as a lingerie party. There'd be drinks, a cover charge. There would even be a game of strip twister, strip twister, strip twister, strip twister.
That's nasty.
Now, once police arrive at the house, they start arresting everybody, and there may be more serious charges coming, but for right now, the most serious charge is everyone has been charged with possession of less than an ounce of marijuana. And one parent wanted to point out that had this party happened maybe 40 miles south of here, inside the city limits of Atlanta, everyone would have gotten a $75 ticket. They all would have gone home. Instead, his kid is spending New Year's in jail.
Hey, loud in this bitch! Oh, shit! What's here? Hold on, what the fuck is here? Oh, I ain't going in there, bro. I ain't going in there. Damn, nigga, get your ID, all that shit. Man, go, man, go, Sierra, man. Hey, yes, come here. Yes, come here. Yes, come here, man. Come here. Hey, come What the fuck you mean? I'm right here, nigga. What the fuck is I'm getting my food still, nigga. Hey, cook that goddamn food, though. Yeah, I need my food still. Cook on this bitch. She right here. Hey, is your phone? Hey, yo. Is your phone? Yes, thank you.
And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Also follow us on the usual media for more and interesting information like this.
Fight their asses.